Alright, I'd like to welcome you guys back to Pro Build Systems. What we have for you today is Elite Dangerous. This game is a space simulator based in a scale version of the Milky Way galaxy. Now, I'm going to start right off by saying, A, I don't know much about this game, and B, this game is crazily difficult, and it highly recommends using a joystick. Because otherwise, you are going to be swinging your mouse over the mouse pad extensively. Alright, so we're going to start off with some combat training. And let's see what we got here. Because there's so many variants in throttle boost and your maneuvering abilities, I use my joystick for basic piloting, and then I still use the keyboard mappings for throttle, because basically using like a traditional joystick with a throttle up and down is not going to be enough, because you're going to need all the different types of directional throttle. Weapons hot. So there's a similar mechanic in this game as to the Star Trek game, if any of you guys had played that, where you do like power shifting to make your systems more effective. As you can see here on the bottom right corner, you'll see systems, engine, and weapons, and then down resets it. So basically, weapons power is going to impact the cooldown and fire rate of your weapons, and engine is going to impact your max speed. And here we go. Trying to rail as many weapons on this guy as we can. Boom. Alright, so another important thing you need to do is you need to keep your speed not necessarily at the highest point, but you want to keep it in the area where you're going to be most versatile as far as your turning is concerned. So you'll see a blue area there once I just pull out of this fucking dive. Oh my god, this guy's... So the basis of this combat exercise is these guys are much more agile than you. Oh. Alright, so the basic, the weapon on this one, this is called a gimbaled weapon. That means you can get basically a moving target much easier, whereas the basic ship comes with a straight forward laser. And that is far more difficult to use. I actually tried doing this exercise with the mouse and keyboard, and I was unable to, to track these guys effectively, because you can see how much I'm having to turn. Gotta keep them in your sights. Boom! Objective complete. And we will power down, and now that is the tutorial. So, we're going to jump into a couple of things. Some things you should know about this game. Docking, launching, all that stuff is all done manually. It's not like, oh, dock, like Eve, for instance, where you click and then it just shoots you to where you want to go, and it does all that automatically for you. This game is all done manually. Alright, next up is going to be docking. As you can see here, we're looking at a space station, and it is spinning, and we are not. So, fly right into the space station, right? Wrong. You have to request clearance. So, lock your target, request docking clearance.
Docking request granted.
Okay, now we are clear to dock. Alright, so we're going to throttle up just a little bit here. And then go ahead and get us into the mobile area. Alright, so once you start to get close, you're going to want to start matching your spin to their spin so you can successfully get in. Once you get in a little bit closer, you'll notice that it's a little bit easier to gauge here. And you could use upward, downward, as well as forward, back, and side-to-side thrust. So this doesn't seem so hard at this point, but when you're in a combat situation and you're trying to get away from people who are shooting you, it's kind of a slightly more high-pressure situation, because people can stay outside the combat area and shoot into the non-fire zone. Okay, now we're going to slow it down, deploy landing gear. Those are lights. What is it?
Silent running. Shields offline.
Whoops. Let's see what landing gear has been rebound to for some reason. Oh. Alright. So before we come into land, we're going to deploy our landing gear, which is, as you know, a very necessary...
landing gear deployed.
It's a very necessary... oh, shit.
Thermal signature restored.
Okay. Coming in slow. Once you get close to it here, you'll see this little scanner HUD here. It's gonna give us a landing setup so we can perfect our landing, because if you do not land properly, you will take damage. Okay. And then we can side strafe there. And we are golden.
Docking
Boom.
successful. Engines disengaged.
Alright, so that was docking. Not as gross as it sounds. But things you need to do inside space stations are going to be refuel, repair, add weapons, modifications to your ship, change ships, so on and so forth. So, obviously important. Alright, so this game has quite a bit of content, probably too much to be covered in a single video. So, in the next video we're going to cover mining and maybe some trade economics and stuff like that. So I'd like to thank you guys for watching. Hit the like button, subscribe, and as always, I'd like to thank you for solving problems with power.